Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be explaining to you the truth on instant manifestation and how to actually go about doing that. Now, I believe this video can clear up sometimes the promises that people make when it comes to manifestation, help you understand the process at a deeper level, but also give you tools to actually make it something that could be real for you. Now, with this, let me say that first off, I am somebody that takes pride, I guess I could say I take pride with it, but I have developed a pretty insane work ethic over the last 6 months, and I do find pleasure in taking massive action and then there actually being a time limit or a time frame on when something happens. So in the sense that it's more about the process than the end result, because it's also about who you become in the process. So let me first off say that I'm still somebody that believes in taking massive action, that is part of the being aspect of it, because as I always say, it's not just about us attracting what we want, it's about us attracting a reflection of who we are being, and part of who we are being is with the emotions that we feel and the kind of person that we become because of it. So with this, let me say that in order to instantly manifest something, there are two main components to it. Now, one of the components has to do with what is called non-resistance. It has to be something that you don't have much resistance to. It has to be something that you believe and in a way expect to happen. And from that point of view, if you're able to release the resistance, already there you increase the probabilities of it happening dramatically. Now, the second part of this is something that I read in the book called How to Break the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And it's about understanding that in order to have that kind of experience of instant manifestation, the key is having what is called a break in continuity. Now, a break in continuity means that we get completely outside of the conditioned thinking. He explains a lot in the book about how 90% or more of our thoughts that we think every single day are recycled from the day before. Therefore, in order to create something different than what we created the day before, we have to completely get outside of the environment that we're in, completely away from the people we're always around, because they trigger similar emotions, they trigger similar thoughts, and the only way to get outside of that is to completely immerse yourself in a new environment. The idea is that if we're in the certainty of our comfort zone, we can't create the uncertainty, we can't create the thing that is completely outside of it because we are in that conditioned thinking. We must do something we have never done before. We must act and do things that are normally outside of our normal self-image. So this means that if you do want to do something like that, take massive action, go out, and what you can do is get and do something you have never done before. As you get into an environment you've never been in before, as you get around people you've never been around before, the idea is that in that unfamiliar territory, there are things that can happen because we are void of our natural beliefs, we are void and away from the natural thoughts that we think. So the key is creating a break in continuity by really getting into the unfamiliar territory, really getting out of the comfort zone. So the key to this is understanding that it is about part of the process, it is about the kind of person you become, but if you do want to create instant manifestation, the key is to not have any resistance to it. It's happened to me a lot when it comes to, the small little things, like when you watch the movie The Secret, it's all about finding that parking space. Most of us don't have as much resistance to that, so it's much easier to happen, all the way to wanting to attract a certain kind of person and just simply, I remember one time I wanted to buy a new car, and I remember thinking that I knew somebody that used to have an auctions, like a dealer's license to go to auctions to buy cars for really cheap, so like buy a BMW or something for a very small amount to what it's really going for at the dealership. And I remember that as I thought about that, and I remembered that that person had moved to a different state, so that wasn't an option. I remember I was at work, I went outside into the sales area, and immediately I met somebody who was an owner who I connected with, and she helped me buy a car based with that kind of deal. So based on the fact that I paid 70% off in order to get a car. It happened literally within minutes of having that thought. So the idea is that what you can begin to do is have no resistance to it Also put yourself in new situations, and as you begin to do that, you begin to create things that prior weren't expected, and that's where the instantaneous can come from. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you really liked it, subscribe if you really, really liked it, and other than that, I'll see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste.